All right, good morning, Modern Farmer, episode number 21. I'm your co-host, Amir, man.
I'm your co-host, Guarav, man.
And we got a special guest today, Justin Foth.
What's up, everyone?
Some little round of applause.
It's early today.
You're going to put those in afterwards?
Of course.
All right, so Justin Foth, I think we've known ourselves for a few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to see you working out. I think I introduced you as mutual friends,
Yeah.
party animals.
Yeah.
And then just you taking over Edge Nutrition and me growing into Man Farms. I think that we kind of connected over Facebook and ads and all that.
100%.
I think the guest grammar. Remember when the guest grammar thing happened
that's exactly
with the
what
Fraser
it was.
Valley?
Yeah.
And then we kind of connected over that, right?
Yeah.
We started talking more about Facebook.
Yeah.
And that was pretty interesting. So how did you, just to get some foreshadowing here, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am the owner-operator of Edge Nutrition located in Abbotsford. So that's kind of a supplement store, vitamin store in my own hometown, same hometown as Man Farms. I also run an online store called Activate Canada, which we ship across Canada, and then I have a referral-based online store called Etc. Trainers Club. So I've been in the fitness industry since I was for about 11 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off as a personal trainer, then obviously kind of worked my way into getting into a store. Started off sweeping the floors and just cleaning the store, and kind of worked my way up from there. And then now I'm kind of just in the position where obviously things are changing a lot now, but I've always been that hub to provide valuable information behind the product.
Yeah.
And now we're just trying to replicate that and do the same thing online.
Okay, so are you an owner-operator of Edge Nutrition, correct?
Of all three of those companies.
All three of those, okay.
Yeah.
I like the Edge Nutrition one personally because it's a local brand, it's tangible, it's in your
100%.
face.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been in Abbotsford and know quite a bit about Edge Nutrition.
Yeah.
It's how long has it been here?
Since 2002.
2002. And then Gord started that company?
Yeah, so Gord was my boss. So initially I worked for another supplement store, just getting my foot in the door, and then I ended up kind of, after I started managing that store, I went over to, like, the first supplement store I ever walked into as a kid was Edge Nutrition. So I went into Gord and I said, I understand the supplements, I have the information, but I really want to learn, like, the business behind the company. Because there's a lot, well, nowadays there's supplement stores popping up on every corner, but there's something about Edge that Gord did very differently, and I want to learn what that was.
Okay, I got you. He was one of the first stores. So that was the first store that I walked into and bought protein from.
Mine too.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
That's when you're getting into working out. You're like, okay, what do you need? Or everyone talk about protein. And then what was it? Celtec. Used to be hype back then. When I was getting into it, they're like, yo, take Celtec. All my friends were like, take Celtec. And then you kind of get like all this water retention, but it used to work, I think.
It still works.
Right? But Gord was very personable, and he would ask you some simple questions like, okay, what do you eat? How old are you? How often do you work out? And try to understand you. And it was cool because someone actually cared about your day-to-day habits, but just like a doctor would, essentially, right? And someone who cares like that then would only sell you some items only he thought that it was actually valuable for you, not just because he wanted to make more money at the end of the day, right? And you could see that because he was actually being genuine,
100%.
right? And then that's why I think that I still go back to you, because I can still see the genuinity in your responses,
Yeah.
and you provide them back based off of factual information.
100%.
It's not like you're just, talking about some sort of articles. Everything that you come down to, it's always understanding and information and research you've done that you actually provide the customer. So I last time I went in there, I talked just about supplements. I think we were talking about cell regeneration, NMN and resveratrol.
Yeah.
And because I've seen it on Joe Rogan, and then I brought it up because I thought that you may know about it. You already knew everything about it. So having the ability to actually find things, and because attention is where it's at, right? We see all these things online, but coming into a store, which is you actually have some tangible history and have some word of mouth behind it, and talk to a friend. Yeah. I think is invaluable,
and
right?
I think the one thing that is the most important thing is also your passion. Like, there's a reason why, like, my passion is always going to be, like, no matter what happens, if I was to get out of the industry I'm in tomorrow, my research and everything I do, like, people ask me, like, wow, how are you passionate about it? And I have no answer for that. But it's what I do when I want to sit at home and read articles. Like, I don't pick up books, I pick up, like, studies, I reference things like that. So to me, it's kind of like, it's like it's second nature.
100%.
I say third nature.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like that's so funny because like when I'm sitting in the middle of June and July, when I'm alone time that I have is like sitting on the toilet because of how busy it is.
Yeah.
I'm looking at different ways to provide fertilizer to strawberries and reading like scientific journals that California has put together.
And that's not normal.
No, it's not.
So same thing with me too. Like,
it's completely like nobody would ever like. I used to find stuff, I still do, and send it to my professors, and they'd be like, "Why are you looking at this?" They'd just be like, "You're insane for looking at data like this." Like it's so crazy. Yeah, exactly. Go do something which is normal, right?
I remember back in the day, I had, and it was like when I was first in the industry, and we were talking about like breaking down amino acids, because obviously there's like an amino acid from a protein. And they essentially break it down to like your essential amino acids, and you can break them down to the di and tripeptides. And then I was looking at Gordon. I said, "Well, what happens when you break that down further?" He's like, "Just stop."
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So
that's wicked. So you'd essentially say, this is cool segue. You essentially say that your purpose is to provide nutritional health and provide overall wellness to clients of any ages, or what would you say your purpose is?
along the same lines as that.
Yeah.
I find that like my passion and my purpose kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
Like my purpose comes from the things that I learn about and the things that I educate myself with. Is like, it's so weird that like my life has kind of worked in this thing where my passion and my eagerness to learn, but I'm also in the position where I have people coming to me. Like it's like I never connected those dots beforehand. Even before I worked in a store, I would always be doing research on like, because I was training for myself at the time, and I found like even now if I go for a Thanksgiving dinner, it's like half the people in my family are like, well, what should I be taking? This is what I'm trying to accomplish. So I always had that beforehand. So just being able to be in a storefront, it kind of just amplified that. And then even now, so being able to be online, it has amplified that even further. Because I'm the first person to pick up a phone when someone orders something and just ask, is everything exactly what they expected? Is there anything that we can do differently? Is it the simplest question, kind of like what you said about Gord, is what is your goals?
Yeah.
As soon as you know what someone's goals are, it's just connecting them to the product and providing the information so you can instill trust and build rapport with those clients.
100%.
And yeah, it's business, right?
No, exactly. And then how did entrepreneurship play into this? Is this something that you've always been interested in, or it's like, hey, listen, I gotta make money?
I think it just amplifies it. Like at the end of the day, like I know today we're more or less talking about marketing, but marketing to me is essentially just connecting a larger audience to the information that I have behind it.
Excellent.
And I think that's what I do a lot differently than most people is because like you go on whoever's trying to sell to you, you go and see these carousel ads of buy this, and everyone's doing the same thing, but nobody's really tapped into, well, what's the difference between how to take this? What's the difference between this? What's the difference between that?
Excellent.
So no one's really tapped into that form of marketing in our industry because it's always just, I always call it the race to the bottom. Who's willing to sell the product as cheap as possible?
Is that what it is in the industry, eh?
I think so.
Cool. That's excellent. Do you know a bit about what my brother does in regards to wine?
Somewhat. I always do the wine tasting.
Yeah, so
it's once in a while.
I also do, grow and sell a product, which is strawberries.
Yeah.
My brother takes that berries and it produces wine.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell a little bit about your wine just to get some understanding, foundation of it? Because
Sure.
I think that's pretty interesting and pretty close to what Justin does in regards to selling his product.
No, I think so. Biggest thing with our wines, they're unconventional. We make fruit wines, right? So they're made from berries versus grapes. I think like how that comes around to your business is there's a lot of education involved.
Yeah.
When a customer comes in, they're not looking for a fruit wine. They're looking for a grape one, or they're looking to have a good experience. So you kind of have to ask those questions, the right questions, to kind of give them the right experience.
I like that.
So,
And do you guys do like most of your promotions, or like when you guys do, like I don't know if you do sample tasting or anything, do you do that like in the community, do you do that at liquor stores, or what do you do?
So we have our stores, and we have our wine in 160 stores.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So that includes the interior, like Kamloops, Kelowna, and it goes all the way to Vancouver Island. Like we're up to Campbell River now.
Wow.
We have some goals to go like Prince George. I'm going up to Kamloops like this Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vernon probably on Monday. We're going to a wine festival that's basically in the middle, or right between BC and Alberta, like on the edge of BC and the edge of Alberta. So we're trying to tap into that market as well. We want to kind of taste that market. Now that's kind of a crazy story. I can probably tell that in a bit, but Yeah, what we do to kind of promote our product is word of mouth.
Yeah.
How we do that is getting like the wine to people's mouths.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, it's education involved.
100%.
Right? So it's not. It's for me. It's educating like my employees to educate the consumers.
Yeah. Which is difficult.
It's difficult, right? Yeah. And then to go beyond that, because we do business to business, is like, how do I educate the store's employees to sell my product?
How do you do that?
Right? It's just about giving them a good time.
Yeah.
And exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I know wineries that have taken people, like there's chains on the island, like there's like Liquor Express, Liquor Plus. These guys have like 7-8 stores.
Yeah.
What like some wineries have done, they've given like, paid for everything to go to their winery, given them a tour. And they give them like a night stay. Right? And then when I go to these stores, like I try to go to a different store to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I saw like a giant display of this one store. I'm like, wow, this is in Campbell, this is in like Duncan, why do they have a giant display of this winery? Right? So I talked to the manager, he's like, this is what they did. I love their wine.
Yeah.
It's about falling in love with the product.
100%.
Right? So that's big. You know, branding.
The experience behind it is so important as well, too. Like even for me, like I know it's not the first thing I think about, but anytime I talk about a product, you almost want to pair it along with a story.
100%.
So rather than just be like, hey, this product, like we talked about NAD, for example, it's talk about like this, when you're looking at cellular health, talk about people that you know, talk about like relate it to something as you're talking about it as well too. Like for example, you related it to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
But like if someone comes in, my mom's a huge, so this is one that I do in the store all the time. I don't take an iron supplement, so I'm never going to be able to relay the fact of my personal experience with iron. I don't have an iron deficiency, there's no reason for me to take it. But my mom does, so because of her severe iron deficiency, I'll talk about her complications through not taking an iron supplement, through taking other iron supplements, and then tell them why that's the best iron supplement to me. Yeah. So the information is always behind it, but being able to relay it to my own personal experience, and same thing with you, like that bringing the owner of a liquor store out here and showing them the farm and taking a part of this experience is like now when they taste that wine which they already like, it's like that experience comes back to their mind right away. So when a customer comes in, they're like, oh, I checked out Man Farms, they got this jumpy thing out back. But you know, yeah.
No, I think it's really interesting because I think when the underlining thing that I think all entrepreneurs are trying to get, even maybe they don't understand it. It took me a long time to understand as well. And I think a lot of influencers online helped me figure that out. You know, my brother brought up that one store that had that really large display of a particular winery, and you're talking about getting the information across in a very empathetic manner where it just provides relevancy. But you're trying to do it now online, and you're doing it in a larger scale like my brother says. And then myself, I'm spending a lot of time and effort doing our Facebook ads, is because I think the number one word that unites all of us is attention.
Yeah.
Attention is the underlining, foundational, key thing that provides your company a folder in that person's brain, which is more prominent and it's reached to before other companies. Like it provides, it beats out competition. From the perspective of this like my brother, there's a different winery. Maybe it's the winery A had that big display. Winery B is just down the street from winery A. They have just as many products, just as good service, just as good wine offerings. But because consumers are not aware of it, because they don't have attention in their local demographic inside that winery, its sales are not going to be able to.
I see what you're saying.
Right. Because we have a pumpkin patch, so does Caves, so does Willowview, so does Anderson Farm over in Langley, so does Carlsberry Farms now. But because they have more or less attention than us, I don't know what it is. I'm not talking bad about them. They will or we will outbeat them.
100%.
It's just pumpkins. It's just a display, but then on top of it, what you're getting across is how you make that content relevant.
I was just going to say that. So the attention thing is such a broad way to put it. Like, for example, if you see another farm just posting photos of their pumpkins, on like that it doesn't create good or bad attention. It just creates attention that may not convert.
Exactly.
So I think the idea, like obviously, like your guys' marketing, I think you guys do a great job because you've been able to be more empathetic. You've been able to tie in your family with, so it kind of allows people to relate. to what you're trying, to your experience here. So like I think the word attention is a very broad way to put it. I think there's a lot of strategy behind the word attention.
Yes.
But I agree completely with what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think the underlying thing, even regardless of what your strategy is your distribution. If your distribution can be like, say it's very consistent, and it's very prominent, like it's very hardcore. Your numbers are very high in regards to how many posts you're doing, or whatever you decide to do, or how many billboards you have, or how many radio talk show ads you have, or say if you're on TV, whatever your distribution is, and it's very, very high, and it's higher than the other competition, I think that you still will, just like you're saying, have more of an impact in a negative or a positive way.
Yeah, there you go.
Correct, right?
I like that, yeah.
So then now you're, as a strategist, you have to figure out how you can provide the best value to that correct consumer.
Do you know how the easiest way to turn this into like away from a business? But do you ever see those people on like Instagram that post like 300 stories a day?
Oh,
it's like they're not converting, but they're still known about it.
100%.
So like that's the best way to really describe it. Like there's nothing that they're selling, there's nothing that they're marketing, but they post 300 times a day, and you're just and you watch it. It's like watching a car accident.
No, it is for sure.
So you still look at it, and it's just like it's like you said, good or bad attention.
No, because people will talk shit about them.
100%.
They'll talk shit about people all the time.
They're still relevant.
They'll be like, this person just sits on her ass all day, taking pictures and selfies of her. Look how stuck up is she of herself. That's fine. When people go to Cactus Club and they sit there on their phones taking selfies themselves, when there's someone sitting across them, there's still people talking about them. 100%, right?
Yeah,
Whether there's another person that's at Cactus Club and they're talking about how they just went to church and they're with their family, whatever, maybe that's different. But it's objective at the end of the day.
100% it's subjective.
It's all just up to whoever thinks about what. Who cares, right?
And it doesn't matter now. You start seeing, like, I know like girls back in the day that post like 300 times a day.
Yeah.
But they're starting to monetize it now. So they realize their consistency. Even though people looked at it and was like, these people are crazy. Like, well, how are they so egotistical? But they're doing something about it now, which is so cool. Like, so I don't know. Like, I think you're right. I think the attention and the consistency with attention. Whatever platform it be, rather it be all platforms or just overwhelming one. It's still like you're right. The tension's there, and the first thing is the attention. The second thing is how to really monetize it. Right?
Cool. Should we get into it a bit?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay, so this is excellent. So we got our Facebook. Just to let all the viewers know, we have Facebook open, and we're gonna open up ads or manage ads. And once we get into here, we're gonna take a look at how to set up a campaign. I had some time to actually sit down with the Facebook expert. I've done it for about 4 times over fall, over September and October. So it was on a weekly basis, and I would set up campaigns or set up promotions based off of ads that I've already been posting online. And doing this and sitting down with, her name is Pamela, it provided me insight into Facebook's thought process in their brain and how it actually works. And then I started putting more and more money towards my ads. Whereas that, if it was $100 or $1,000 or whatever it was, it provided me a 5x return, literally provided me like a 20x return. Wow. Like I can see the conversion is so much higher based on just some simple tricks. And it's so like you can change the entire strategy to work for however you think your strategy, your business will function better in regards to that conversion. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about now is having people look at something, it's penetrating someone's daily, day-to-day lives with your own content to have them make a decision, regardless if it's buy a bottle of wine, purchase some supplements, or come to the Haunted Gourmets, right, end of the day. So I think Facebook is an awesome platform for this because you're able to be so integrated in regards to how you actually get the information across.
Well, I remember we just had a conversation where you walked in the store the other day.
Yeah.
And this is the cool thing that we're sitting down and doing this now. But you walked in the store and you could just tell both of our faces. I was like, I do Facebook ads really cool. And you looked at me back and you're like, I think I do.
Literally how I think.
So I think this is cool. This is kind of an exciting way.
It is.
Kind of share how we
sick.
do things different within our own industries, right?
So how about we just go back and forth then?
Yeah,
let's just try that. Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, the takeaways that I took from sitting down with Pamela, the Facebook ads marketing expert, was that your ads need a strategy of the timeline in regards to the conversion of the consumer. And that might be a little complicated. So what I'm trying to get across is, say on I like Christmas and Boxing Day, for example, right? say you want people to purchase your items on Boxing Day. You need to choose different campaign strategies a month in advance, 3 weeks in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 1 week in advance.
Yeah.
And these campaign strategies, if you've ever done a Facebook Ads Manager, or if you are looking to do one in the future, you can follow along with us here. So you just click Create, and then underneath Create, you have 3 different pillars. It's awareness, consideration, and conversion. Okay? Awareness is brand awareness and reach. Those 2 are things that I've done very popular or very often in the past. But sitting down with her, she said that if you're gonna jump from a reach to a conversion to either a traffic, we can both look at this, right?
I got mine.
If you're gonna jump from one to the other, it needs to be in the right mindset of when the consumer is gonna see your ad and when they're gonna actually convert. So she was saying, what I was actually doing initially, and she corrected me on, is that I had a few conversion ads going, conversion campaigns going, and she said I was literally wasting my money.
Yeah.
Because they were converting, but she said I would get much better conversion if I was to take those ads, which are 5 different sets of creative. So what I mean in regards to creative, I'm trying to break down all these processes so people actually understand. Literally post 5 different posts and put them through a reach campaign or a brand awareness campaign for about a week to 2 weeks, and then once they were gone through that process,
Then put them on the
put them on a conversion.
So 1 second, I wanted to Google because I don't know off the top of my head, but how many times did I see? So the one thing I do as well too, it's not going to come up. So what is this?
So basically, you put in reach and brand awareness. That's a test.
Mm-hmm.
And the best post you put on conversion.
So
It's close to. I don't know if it's a test, but it's you get a lot of information through doing that by using a pixel.
So like statistically speaking, that someone has to see your product 7 times before they ever commit to buying it. So I like that strategy. I remember when you said that to me, that it kind of sparked, because in me, like, I'm trying to figure out how to get that product in front of the customer 7 different ways.
Oh yeah, that's
because if it's the same ad, it's kind of like, you know, when you're going through Instagram or Facebook and you're like, oh, I've already seen that
100%.
ad. It doesn't create a different experience. So realistically, I like the fact that you're creating multiple ads, putting them on different campaigns, and then once that consumer, because you can actually, when you're setting your ad sets, you can say like how many times a customer sees that ad.
Frequency.
Yeah. But you said this to me as well too, but it's the idea of running multiple ads, figuring out where it's being most effective and putting most of your money into that.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at that ad and how you create it, but the most important part, like what if one person only saw that ad 3 times and one person saw it 7 and converted on 7?
Exactly.
So you have to like be able to manage that a little
100%.
bit more effectively as well too.
Yeah.
But like it's crazy to think that a customer needs to see a product at least 7 times, and I actually believe it's 7 different ways.
Oh, you think?
Rather,
7 different
I don't
ways?
think it's like at the end of the day, like same thing. I'm always going to compare it to your company.
Yeah.
But you look at your let's say you do the haunted maze.
Yeah.
And you use the same photo every time. By the time they've seen it for the 7th time, it's kind of like, okay, I've seen enough of this.
Yeah, it's boring.
But being able to switch it up and create that different experience, or create a different like whatever persona that you put out, I think that's the best case scenario,
100%.
and that's why that consistent content is so important, right?
Yeah.
It's like by the end of it, you're like, hey, this is crazy. I need to buy these tickets now.
Yeah. I think that's so cool, because when you're taking a look at the haunted core maze and using that as an example, I've done posts which are very scary. I've done them which are very gory.
Yeah.
I've done them which are just black and white and kind of like you have to use a lot of your imagination. I've done them where they're great gratitude.
Stuff,
yeah, exactly. Gratitude, exactly.
Yeah.
I've done them on behind the scenes, and so they're so different in regards to the way they're getting across to consumer, like you're saying. However, the platform is the same. It may still be a photo, but the way that I chose to look at that photo from different perspectives, it hits on different notes for different people.
100%. And I'll be honest, no other form of marketing has ever been able for us to do that. So this is where it can relate to other industries as well too. You take an empathetic post and you, like, one thing that I use is, have you ever used Facebook Audience Insights?
Yeah.
So
I used to.
I pulled this up as well too. But if you go to Facebook Audience Insights, say for example, you look at more of an empathetic post and you see how that's more appealing to, let's say kids are more scared of the gorier stuff. And you see that your demographic is closer to like 18 to 24 year olds for that more empathetic posting, or maybe older demographic. why wouldn't you put those posts in front of those people?
Exactly.
And then same thing, you're looking for the gory stuff, you see the ages of 25 to 34, like that gory scariness.
100%.
You put those, so it allows you to be one brand. And I've said this to companies as well too, is if you created a single product that was just an all white product, this product could mean something different to every person that sees it on through your ads, which is so amazing because we've never been able to do something like that before.
There's so many different life reasons just why a red would be more meaningful color in different perspectives of different humans. Like just red could influence Canadian or Canada. It could influence blood.
100%.
Like it's so drastic.
So one in my industry that I often reference to is like collagen has been such a popular supplement, but you got to look at what the benefits of collagen are. So for example, collagen for females usually is more catered towards skin health, but for males it's usually more for joint, ligaments, and tendons. So if I want, back in the day, we want to put a little poster board up for collagen. Then we're trying to be someone to everyone, skin, hair, nails, and it kind of doesn't have that 100%. Same impact. So now we can look at, okay, say for example, females from 25 to 34 interested in collagen for its skin benefits, and males, same age range, is interested for joints, ligaments, and tendons. So now we start putting those ads in front of the right people. So like I think Facebook advertising, like it's so cool that we're able to actually have the ability to do this when we've never really been able to do that before, right?
It's the best tool. It's honestly unreal. And you don't have to have a massive audience to start on Facebook advertising. You could literally just open your page up tomorrow and start promoting ads based off of the content you're putting back. But don't you think that it's very important that to, of course, be able to use this tool correctly, but then have I don't know how would you put an analogy towards this, but just to have enough creative pieces of content to where you can actually use the tool effectively.
100%.
Right? That's what it comes down to, posting consistently, using that feedback loop of you posting and looking at your posts and seeing what's done well, seeing how hashtags are used, seeing how you put your caption in, and how people engage with your post, and then posting more with that feedback engraved in the new post, and then getting better and better and better and better at that, to where now you have a particular topic, say such as collagen, has 10 to 15 to 30 different posts, right? Where now you can go look back at, okay, these are the posts on collagen which have done so good. What are the similarities between them? What are the differences between them? Now, where should I be spending my money?
Best,
right? Best.
So I like that.
Exactly.
It's actually you that said that to me as well too, because I always look at like Google Trends and see what's popular. But the question I had to you, I was like, well, how do you decide, like when you run an ad, where do you decide that this is an ad that needs more money behind it? And your answer was, look at your organic posts and whatever is trending or what is getting the highest reach, 100%. Put your money into that.
That's it.
Simple answer.
Exactly. Because I used to see Mr. Lady. Do you ever know Mr. Lady?
No.
He was my PE teacher.
Okay.
And I hated running. He was like, yo man, just run hard when it's easy to run, and walk slow when it's like you're going uphill. Right? So what he's trying to tell me is that, like, hey, listen, put more effort towards things that are working well, and put less towards the working less, right? And it's just a common thing. Like, you get through your life, like, okay, focus on your strengths and less on your weaknesses. So just whichever posts have done better, I guess just automatically started putting money towards it. And then through listening to Gary Vee, he said similar things in regards to the posts that do well and you get better feedback on, you should focus more on those.
100%.
And I was like, okay, shit, then I should be putting my money towards that. And no Facebook ads marketing expert has ever told me, okay, use existing campaigns or existing posts opposed to creating new posts. It's something that I've done inherently, right? Exactly. Just use organic posts 100%. And then see which have done well, like better. That. So that's just something that's been, I think, very cool. And when we were in New York, I think 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
It was Connecticut, so 3 years ago.
Yeah, but we went to New York after that.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think of an aftermath.
Yeah, okay, it was Connecticut. So my brother and I went on this convention, and we were in Connecticut for that. We go on this yearly convention. It's called NAFTA, North America's Farmers Direct Marketing Association. It's farmers who do similar types of organizations such as us, jumping pillows, go-kart tracks, zip lines, Honda core mazes. And then after that, we were pretty close to New York, so we took a train there. And we were just getting into social media. I think we just fired our marketing manager at that point. We had a marketing manager back then. We had a couple. And then I guess I took it on myself to recreate the website, which I did. But then I started focusing and listening more to Gary Vee. And I was like, yo, man, I think we're just laying in bed there, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, man, Gary Vee says you got to pull 3 times a day. He's like, all right, do it then. Why are you being a bitch? Do it. I'm like, what do you mean?
But it's so true, though.
He's like, just do it.
The crazy thing about this is that everything you say, like for someone that doesn't understand it, seems so complicated. But isn't it so simple now? Like
It's
now
so
that you
easy.
do it, isn't it just kind of like it's second nature? It's kind
It
of
is.
like it literally just like I think I have a couple tricks that I do.
Yeah.
But it still comes down to like the foundation of just finding the person that wants to buy the product.
That's it.
That's all
man.
it
That's
is.
it. Literally, it is. It's just like exactly analyzing your demographic, putting the right creative in front of that demographic's face to where they'll get a reaction.
It's crazy.
It's literally it.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing on people's heartstrings essentially,
Yeah.
man. It's crazy. It's nuts.
One thing that I'll bring up too, like something, because I'm gonna compare it to wine for a little bit, because I think that like we said, kind of similar experiences that we're trying to create an experience. So one thing that I do very differently with my ads, as is recently, is instead of doing like the typical carousel ad where I'm putting my product in front of the consumer, is it fine that I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Carousel ad, we know that my biggest competition is probably going to be online, and they're probably going to do the exact same thing. So you're always doing the exact same thing. The only way to win is essentially to give a better price. Then you start losing your margins, you start losing money. So one ad that I'm actually running very frequently, and I've got a lot of companies to back behind this, is instead of advertising products, I advertise goals. So say for example, we'll go into collagen. Let's say I run an ad that is on collagen and skin. And in that ad, I'm not advertising any products. I'm offering to the consumer or potential consumer to enter their email to be able to download or buy a digital platform of ebook.
Okay.
And in that ebook, I can link the products.
Yeah.
It'll take me to the pages. I'll give the information about the products. I've collected their email, and I already have identified them to be part of that demographic that is interested in collagen and skin.
Oh yeah.
And they can directly press those links and go to my page. If they still haven't converted after I've given them all the information about the products,
Yeah.
I get the companies to send them a 3-day sample, which is just in regular mail, so it costs me $1 stamp to let them try the product for 3 days and see how they like it.
Oh shit.
After they've tried it for 3 days, I follow up again.
Oh, okay.
So it allows, like, I always look in my industry, like what takes a customer away from the sale. So if it's the fact that they're worried, like if they've never even taken a supplement before, is it the fact that there's not a lot of trust behind supplements, they don't understand supplements, so I break down that information. Is it the fact they think it might taste bad, so I get them the product and let them try it for at least 3 days, so now they've kind of created an experience for themselves. They have all the information, they've tried the product, they like the product, and obviously you have to do it with good products, because if you send them a shit product, they're never going to convert. So after I have that ad, now I've identified them, I have their email so I can target market them, and they've tried the product, so it's as simple as just following up with an email, asking how they like the product.
It's very cool.
And if they haven't converted, then that's when I'll start offering discounts. So I've done everything to protect my margin by giving them everything I think they need.
Yeah.
And in those ebooks, there's also how to take it. So you buy a supplement and you see that it says take 1 pill twice a day, but for who? Is it for the 120-pound female, or is it for the 220-pound guy?
Yeah.
So breaking it down and actually showing them when they reach their saturation points, all this information behind it, and then at the end of the day, letting them try it, it's perfect. There's no other way, and it's converting like crazy.
That's crazy.
Because at the end of the day, how else do you do it? All you do is put the products in and essentially hope that someone decides to click. It's like you need to see a product 7 times before you buy. You're hoping that you're the 7th time. And there's no strategy behind that.
It's $51.49. You're providing so much more value up front to where you're understanding the consumer and they're actually understanding what they're getting at the end of the day. Then you come in and be like, hey, listen, do you want to actually purchase this product?
Exactly.
Right? And just like your wine tastings that you do too, like you spend time and effort and energy on that customer to where you understand them and their taste buds essentially.
Well, realistically,
and then provide them the sample.
Your place to convert, if let's say for example you give them all the information, you've done everything you need to do, you know every box is checked, the next place for you to convert is to put them in front of you. So for me, what I'm doing is I'm putting the product in their hands, I'm doing everything. It's a 3-day sample, which I don't pay for, those are provided by the companies. And at the end of the day, if they haven't converted there, it's kind of like if a person's in front of you and they try your wine and you say, hey, would you like to buy a bottle? They say no, they're not your consumer. So that I've finally been able to replicate that experience online, where I don't think it's ever really, for me, I've never done that before.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's really cool.
And what are you finding in regards to demographic? Is there any
my demographic
any
is different.
surprises?
So what I'm trying to do in the sense of just like I said, creating a product that's just a white label that can appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to create for my online store. Like I know through like our old, and I haven't done a great job through the online store of like really doing my like Facebook marketing.
Yeah.
It's more or less more ad campaigns and etc. But that's the next thing that I want to do. But I'm trying to be really strategic behind it, because I want the 60-year-old lady that's interested in a supplement for, let's say, collagen supplement, but I also want that 18-year-old guy that wants that pre-workout. So how do you appeal to both on your actual landing page?
You're looking for a jug of milk.
Yeah.
You're looking for the jug of milk that like Walmart, Superstore, and everybody has. It brings people in the back of the store.
Exactly.
But then they look at everything else and maybe purchase something else.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That's very interesting.
That's exactly it.
That's crazy.
Nutrition is interesting.
Well, the other thing I do as well, that's a little bit different as well too. I don't want. I'm kind of going back and forth because I would like to just go up. But for example, like I want to compare it to the wine industry as well too. So do you when you run an ad for wines?
Yeah.
Are you running them in a specific location, or where do you run your ads? Is it across Canada, or is it only in the cities that you sell?
I run one ad.
Oh, really?
So I'm learning right
So what?
I'm thinking about like episode 21. I'm going to go back and listen to it again.
100%.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because
So,
like, I
very
don't
interesting.
understand more stuff.
Is this episode 21?
This is
Yeah,
episode
this is
21.
episode
Yeah.
21.
Okay, so one thing that I do that I think would actually be really beneficial to you as well is, for you this is different, because realistically this is the place that people need to come, and you can't really, like if you're doing a corn maze, you can't really target, or you could, but you couldn't really target so one thing someone said to me in marketing is that find a different demographic that relates to your own. So in mine, where mine sports nutrition, let's just categorize it to that demographic. Where's another person gonna be if they're interested in sports nutrition? And the easy answer is the gym.
Oh yeah.
So like one thing I did, and the cool thing for you, for example, is when someone's on a wine tour, say they're in a Soyuz, say they go to whatever winery tour, say there's an event in Abbotsford, how often, where people walk around and do their little wine tasting things.
Oh yeah.
I would run my ads on a time where you know your consumers are going to be grouped in a large place. So if you actually go to one of my ads right here, I've took every gym. That's a location to every gym within Canada, and I target every gym across Canada for larger franchise.
Yeah.
So there's every Good Life in there. There's every Anytime in there. There's every Club 16. So I go through and I go through all of them, and I break down their demographics, knowing that they have to be interested in supplements. Their age and their demographic will change. Sometimes they'll be like, say for example, when you look at, I always go off of trends. So if you go off of like apple cider vinegar is one that I just made an ad for the other day. So apple cider vinegar was trending within married couples, but declining in single people, or people that are just in relationships.
Yeah.
And you see like online, you see like Ellen talking about like their new apple cider vinegar, and maybe her demographic is more married people. So why wouldn't I put my money into a trending demographic?
Exactly.
So say for example, this one's sports nutrition. I go all the gyms, I pick the age. Say if I pick something like this one's bodybuilding, and then they have to already be engaged in online shopping. I'm not trying to change someone's culture and they've never shopped online. I don't even want to put my ad in front of them. Yeah. I'm not going to be the first person they shop online for. So if they're already engaged in it. Cool thing for that is I know that people have already entered a gym, probably take supplements or are considering to take supplements. The cool thing, if you were to replicate it for your business, is find larger wine tours in places where someone can buy your wine, target that specific location, that address, or those multiple addresses they go to. So every time they go to a winery and try a wine, there's an ad that pops up on their phone every time they look at it, and it says, we'll try the best fruit wine in Canada. And it's like, by the time they've tasted everything, they're like, well, I want to try this fruit wine.
I have a question. You know how you said you put in every single address for all the gyms within a specific area? Did you say BC or Canada?
I did Canada.
Canada's crazy. So when you did that, did you put in the addresses and then Facebook found the people who visited that address?
So within the last 24 hours. So they have to visit that location in the last 24 hours.
Okay, let's roll this back here. I didn't know that you could do that. So how did you do that?
So
what campaign did you use?
This is just creating your audience for campaigns. So you can use whatever campaign
So
you want.
So let's do it.
Dude, straight
I'm creating a new
up,
campaign.
if you went to your, say for example, you went to your competition's corn maze,
Yeah.
you could target their address. They would have to be there the last 24 hours. And you can say like, bring your ticket, whatever. I'm just saying this as a specific way. Bring your ticket to say 50% off of whatever.
Listen, man, help me do it. I'm ready to do it right now.
This is ad previously created customer.
I'm creating a new
lookalike
campaign.
audience.
I'm gonna make a reach
Create
campaign
new.
for fall. I'm gonna say address based. Okay.
Okay.
I'm clicking continue. So I'm just, if you guys want to follow along, I'm in the ads manager and I click campaign. And I'm gonna create a new. You're gonna create. Let's create a new audience. So I'm gonna create a new audience. I'm gonna click create new. And now what do I do? Custom audience or do I click lookalike audience?
Can I come over there?
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm just gonna put mine
No,
down.
Sure.
So when we go audience, we're not gonna go location right here.
Yeah.
Always edit location. So not everyone in this location. So people live in the location, people recently visiting this location.
Okay.
And then instead of Canada, get rid of that.
No, yeah, you can type in Vancouver, whatever.
So, and the things I exclude as well too, like maybe for you, people might come down from the States,
Yeah.
but I don't want people in the States ever seeing my ads because I don't sell to the States. So what I do is I essentially exclude the United States. So anyone in the States automatically blocks, they don't get to see any of my ads.
Oh, that's good.
And then when I include, let's say for example, we'll put the store's address, 2760 Gladwin Road, Abbotsford. There's my store's address right there. And I can do it in 10 miles or I can do it in 1 mile.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do a 1 mile radius.
Within the radius.
Okay.
And
So
you could do multiple.
I'm aware of this. I was not sure that if people, like, I don't know how integrated Facebook is and Google is, right?
Yeah.
But I know that sometimes my dad and my Google accounts are linked together.
Yeah.
So like when I'll go to like Cactus with my bill or whatever,
Yeah.
the next day he'll be like, "Hey, how was Cactus?" Look, what do you mean? How do you know I was there? He's because I got a prompt saying, "Please review Cactus Club Abbotsford."
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? So they knew that it was I was at Cactus Club.
That's hilarious.
But I know that you can actually focus on a specific area.
Within that location.
Yeah, but I never did a 1 mile radius. So what I mean by a 1 mile radius, does this mean, like, I don't know how integrated Facebook is. Does this mean that people who visit that Volkswagen right next to your place or that Nando's right there,
If they're part of your demographic.
if they're part of your
So
demographic?
the reason why I do it that way is because I'm picking the largest, like say for example, Edge. This isn't a mile of Edge, but I'm picking two of the largest gyms within the, let's say, bigger cities across Canada.
Yeah.
So anytime they're in that location within the last 24 hours, I can target them. So
Okay.
say for example, if they're not at Edge and they're down the road and they're at whatever
Mill Lake.
Canadian Tire, Mill
Yeah,
Lake,
yeah.
who cares that they're not at Edge? But I want that to be the focal point because in that gym, there's probably, let's say, how many hundred people that pass through there
Sure.
within 24 hours. That's the only thing I care. So I don't care that it's the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Because of the fact, because if it's still my demographic, I can still
100%.
convert to them.
100%. Only thing that I would debate is like, hey man, what if someone visited that Nando's across the street and that demographic is completely different than yours? I know you're putting interests and genders in,
Yeah.
but I do think that there is small nuances within the similar demographic that could change.
So that's why under here, when you go, let's say detailed targeting, I could do something as simple as bodybuilding.
You're right.
So
Because
then
you can
in
exclude a lot.
bodybuilding, then we narrow the audience even further.
Yeah,
They have to be in bodybuilding. They have to be interested in online shopping.
Yeah.
They have to be. I could even go to, I want to say the name that I'm doing this for, but they have to be interested in shopping. I could even target my competition and go,
Yeah, or you could put in your own address. You could put in your own name in,
100% I can.
right?
So
That's awesome.
essentially doing that, anyone that's been in that 1 mile radius has to.
Has to be those.
So now we could do it as like someone that's Googled bodybuilding. I see what you
Yeah.
say, because if you did someone that did bodybuilding, it's kind of like, well, maybe he Googled it.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I'm thinking, okay, he has to be engaged in online shopping as well too,
100%.
and he has to like this page or engaged with this page as well too.
Very interesting.
So it's almost better to narrow your audience to be that niche
Yeah.
market. And I could change this bodybuilding to anything else. I could change it to skin health. And then people that have also been interested in vitamins and minerals, because maybe someone that's into skin health has never taken a supplement before.
Yeah,
but now I narrowed it further, right?
That's
So
very
like
cool.
at the end of the day, the reason why I do this is just because I want to find a location where I have a large group of people that would potentially be my audience. If I did all of British Columbia, there's probably a lot of people that would essentially pop up that aren't.
It's dumb. You need to be way more specific in regards to who you're getting the information.
And the cool way to do it even a little bit further, which I was going to show you as well too, is go Facebook audience insights. So the way to how I kind of create an ad to see who would be like my best demographic. So I don't just do it on my own Facebook, I do all of Facebook. So say for example, we talked about collagen before. Now I can actually see who my demographic is. If I see majority of people are coming from these places. So here we go. Married couples or married females more particular is more interested in buying collagen. So I don't, if I see that single people have dropped by 21%, for some reason collagen is dropping. And the main reason why I think this is because companies are probably putting their advertisements in front of these people. So why don't I ride that wave?
Yeah. Maybe people who are having kids.
Never
Why
know.
married people?
Yeah.
Right?
Or it could just be that this is where companies want, like maybe companies are just putting ads in front of people, like they're not narrowing their demographics like we are.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe they're just putting in front of people and that's where the traction is essentially happening, right?
But say if I didn't have the right locations to pick people off of, and we go back to the campaign thing. So let's go back there. And then I'm just starting off, right? I don't know who, where people are actually visiting. I don't know these specific things, but I do know some of the things. I don't know locations, but I do know interests. Yeah. I know. I've been selling my product for a little bit. For me, myself, I've been selling strawberries for a little bit. Yeah. I've been selling the Haunted Cormorants tickets for a bit. So how I would go about it, and because this is different, I just want to show you how I do it, right? I would go create a new audience, okay? I would do a custom audience or a lookalike audience. I'd probably do a lookalike audience. I would do a lookalike audience, and I would use existing audience. So I can do the pixel.
Yeah.
I can do other sources, and this is the old audience that I've created, custom audience that I've created. But I can also do, so I'll actually go create custom audience, and then I'll use an event that I've created in the past.
Okay, yeah.
And events, I think, have been very invaluable for Man Forums in general in regards to getting our content in front of the right people.
Yeah.
Because we'd always create an event, a few weeks or 2 weeks, even a 1 week before in advance.
Yeah.
And people who click interest in an event have to be interested in the event.
100%.
Like they are dead set in coming into that event.
They're serious about it.
Or they're like, hey, listen, I want to know more about this event when I get closer to. I might want to put it, like, it's something that you save for later. It's like a bookmark, essentially, right? So I've always done it this way. So I would go into and pick a specific event that's coming up. So like I know Christmas is coming up.
And these are all people that have clicked that they're interested in this event.
100%.
Yeah,
so 5th annual Christmas market is a new one that's coming up. And there's not that many responses into this. Create an audience. Have you created a lookalike before?
No, never.
So this is very cool. So you create a lookalike audience based off of this, and you pick a region. So say Vancouver. I know people will come from out of city, right? Okay. I actually cannot pick Vancouver. I have to pick all of Canada, and then later on you narrow it down.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So North America, Canada, done. Okay, and so I'll just create like 260,000 people is a good size to start off with.
Yeah.
You don't need more people than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so create an audience based off of this. So it's gonna start populating a specific audience based off of the responses I've had from an event.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that,
Does that make sense? So now what I'll do is I don't want people from all over Canada because I don't care if someone from Ontario is going to come to my event. They're not going to come, right? So now I want to go to include, and I'll put it in Vancouver. And so age, maybe I should leave it like this, but I don't know what age is actually going to come to Christmas market. Do you know?
I have no idea.
No, me neither.
But the cool thing, like we talked about before, if you want to make an ad, you want to make multiple ads, create 4 of these ads for 4 different people.
Yes, exactly. So that's very true. So I would essentially, because I do want to promote my wine on this, and that's the number one thing that I'm trying to get across when people are coming to a Christmas market. Maybe I'll go 19 to 40. Okay, it's pretty broad. There's moms in there that are going to be purchasing.
Yeah.
A lot of females do come out, right? So all genders, I would actually make this female, just woman, and then the demographics, I would go through this and change this. The next step above this, in regards to getting the right demographic that I've seen, is by using a pixel. So you
Yeah.
have never used a Pixel before,
Yes,
right?
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay, wicked.
Yeah.
So Pixels are freaking cool. I want to show you guys this as well.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you guys target a broad audience versus targeting a specific audience? How do you get? Why is that more important than targeting a broad audience?
Because I think when you target a broad audience, you also bring in people that probably won't convert. So if you can narrow your audience, you can kind of narrow down. Like, let's say we have 10 people in this room right now, and one of them want to buy supplements. How do I only target that one person?
Is it because like, if those 9 other people come to your store, they're wasting your time?
Oh, I'm wasting my money on ads. I'm showing my
You're
ads.
wasting
I'm
money.
I'm paying for an ad to put in front of 9 people that aren't going to buy from me, and it might like.
But with that same money, are you not going to get that same volume, or are you going to get more of the one people?
We'll get more of that 1%. We'll get more of that one person. So the idea is narrowing the audience is just to put your ad in front of people that may purchase. Or I shouldn't say it like that. I should say it's to put in front of people that are interested in what you're advertising.
It's your money. You want your money to have the best bang for its buck.
100%.
You don't want to put your money in front of Jason if Jason's not going to come watch for, or come purchase Christmas market items.
Let's say Jason doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Exactly.
Jason doesn't get the ad.
Exactly. So why should I have my money go on Jason? It doesn't make sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to find the right people you want to put your content in front of so it can work better for you. That's it. Why would you want to go talk to someone who doesn't drink wine?
No, for sure. My question is this: are you not going to target that same 1% by targeting the 100%, or no?
You mean will those
You-
people
you-
get thrown in there? Is that what you're trying to say?
It will still be in
Yeah,
there, but
you
it'll
will.
cost more.
It'll cost more.
Yeah, it'll cost more.
Okay.
Okay, so next thing, so I think pixels are very, very unique, and this blew my mind. Okay, I could go in there, and I've created specific types of interactions on the website. So this is pretty cool to understand. Let me know if you don't follow along, or
No,
because
it's
at
good.
first I didn't follow
Just
along.
keep talking.
Okay, so the pixel, I set it up to where I wanted to know when people would click add to cart for my Haunted Cormice tickets.
Yeah.
And the next thing I wanted to know is initiate checkout. So when you go and purchase something, a lot of people have purchased online, so they're pretty familiar with what I'm saying. You added, I don't know, what do you purchase online? What do you purchase online? What are the brain going blank? Clothes. Okay, excellent. So now you've added some clothes to your add to cart. That's one event.
Yeah.
Okay. The next event is initiate checkout. Okay, I'm ready to pay.
Yeah.
Right. I think those two events are very different
Yeah,
in
they
regards to consumer interaction. And then when person actually visits your page, that's very general and broad, right?
Yeah.
So I was able to create this pixel and set it up based off of those three events, and then go back and create campaigns, which is a conversion campaign, off of just the add to cart people or off of just initiate checkout.
Yeah.
So just to give you some numbers, for initiate checkout at 7,000 people do that based off this one pixel in the past 40 days, where add to cart at 75,000 people do.
Wow.
So I had 75,000 people go add to cart, but some of those people never initiated checkout. So now maybe what I want to do is create a conversion campaign, because obviously those people are aware of the product. They know of what they're purchasing. They've almost made that purchase, but maybe there are nuances throughout their day, such as they did it and they had to pick up the phone, or they weren't sure about how many people were coming. Or they just did it out of excitement and they weren't ready to pay for it, or their credit card wasn't working.
Yeah.
I can retarget those people,
Smart.
and that's blown the conversion amount. It's been like,
Is this for everything on the website or just the haunted tickets?
no, just so exactly. So this is cool to understand. So when you go to manfarms.com, right, and I'll tell you exactly what the add to cart thing is. Okay, so you go to the haunted Cormice and Pitch Black page itself. You go to buy tickets. So look how deep I'm going into this. There's nobody else there's people who are interested in weddings are not going to go here, right?
No.
So I'm already isolating so many of my demographics. So now I'm adding to cart. So clicking one here, and the next thing is, what the hell? Okay, this button right here, add to cart. Add it to cart. That is one event. That's the specific people that I'm targeting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the next thing I'm clicking continue. No thanks. And then this is very important. Proceed
Initiate
to checkout.
right? Yeah.
So now I've clicked proceed to checkout, and this is a different event. And so these are people who have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 clicks towards Haunted Cormice.
Yeah.
that they've done on their own, and now I'm going in spending money towards it. So you can see how much more your money is working for you if you're putting $1,000 towards it, in regards to actually making money at the end.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Interesting?
So they've already seen the ad, they've already seen everything. Now it's just retargeting them because something in their day it could be as simple as they just added this number up and they know how much each of their friends owe them. So now they follow up with their friends and you're just saying, hey, here's a reminder, come in.
Exactly. And they never actually came back to it, right? Or they did come back to it and shit, man, come back.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So that's cool.
Like
that was very interesting that I figured out.
No, I like that as well.
That was super cool, man. Okay, this is a common mistake that a lot of people are making based off of the YouTube videos that I've watched after this. They would go into their campaign strategy, which is ads manager, create a campaign. And then you know how you can choose where you want your ad to show up? If it's in Instagram stories or Instagram feeds or Facebook stories or Facebook feeds. Have you ever played around with that?
Yeah.
Pamela was saying, make it automatic. And Facebook will not spend your money in places where people are not seeing your ad.
I see what you're saying.
It will only spend money in the areas which your ad is actually converting.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe her. I thought that Facebook would just use that
Yeah.
to where, they want to spend your money more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want my ad to show up on the right-hand side of a freaking banner ad on the Facebook.
So
I thought that was dumb, right?
I always take it off.
I used to always take it off. But then I did it a couple times automatically just to give it a try. It never shows up there.
Wow.
0%. So I think we can just look at
the only thing I do differently is with Instagram stories, I will still make custom Instagram stories because it's a different size. So sometimes I will specifically make ads just for Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And then other ones you just keep it broad.
And then you'll choose just distribution location based off of that.
Just off of that.
Yeah, that's very cool. I've done that in the past too. So here's some of the numbers from it. Like this thing, $22,000 reach, 50 cents per
add to cart.
I think it's per add to cart.
Yeah.
So where there's 23 cents, but the ads to cart so have only been 13.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So it's completely different. And my ads to cart price is so low compared based off of the price per ticket, which is close to $40, $30.
100%.
On average.
That's amazing.
That's cool, man.
50 cents to get a customer to add an
Yeah,
item
it's
to
cool,
a cart.
right? Not bad. So it's interesting.
It's
Where I've been at where it's been actually $60 and $70 though.
Oh really?
That's been mistakes. That's mistakes in the past. Yeah.
So for someone to get to an add to cart,
It was like $60.
Wow.
One question I have for you, for the trends, how do you do inventory management?
How do I do inventory management?
Because you obviously have a storefront. You need to buy these products for those trends.
Yeah.
How do you go from the trends to new trends? But can you sell the product back to the business that sells it to you?
No.
No?
But what do you mean? How do I go from trends? So how do I
say,
know what's
say
trending?
Collagen, right?
Yeah.
Collagen is trending, or apple cider vinegar is trending towards those married couples.
Yeah.
Say you bring in $1,000 worth of collagen or apple cider vinegar for those married couples.
Yeah.
How do you make sure you only buy the certain amount versus having the $700 left over?
It's just tasting it. Buy 26, sell 26. If I sell 26 within a couple weeks, buy 48. If I sell 48 right away, I keep going. Eventually I will never, if I'm selling 24 units of something in a couple weeks, it's not dying anytime soon. And to be honest, it's also having integrity about the products you sell. Some products I'll be less interested in selling. Apple cider vinegar is definitely one of them. But it's one of those things where you realize that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So even if someone comes into my store to buy apple cider vinegar because it's trending, they usually don't just leave with apple cider vinegar. They leave with, I essentially ask what their goals are, how to, and teach them how to accomplish their goals through, rather it might not even be supplements, but just better tactics to have them do so. So I would never overcommit. I'm not buying 1,000 units of apple cider vinegar. I might do 24, 48, and then I might go as high as 74, and then to sell 74 in the next couple months isn't going to be difficult.
Do gyms sell supplements?
Not really, no.
No?
Some do. I've worked with a couple of gyms, but usually they buy them from me and then resell them. So that's another thing we do.
Because I'm curious because if you go to the gym, ask them which one's selling the most.
Yeah.
Within this last week.
Yeah.
And then you target that supplement.
So it's actually a lot easier. So I use something called Google Trends, and I can actually go, because Google is your best search engine anytime. So if I could type in supplements to Google Trends, I could change it to Canada, and this would actually tell me what people are Googling most for.
That's sick.
So I could see that organic food, creatine, whey protein isolate are all trending within Canada. So if I know, I could change this in the last 48 hours, I could change it in the last week. I'll usually create ads of things that people are, and you can see that like it's organic food is up 140% today. If you look at creatine, it's up 120%. I'm putting my money in ads that are trending. And these are things that I've been selling creatine since 2002.
Of course.
Shit.
So I know it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to put my ads in where people are Googling. And I can actually even target the places. Alberta is the place that's normally talking about supplements. Northwest Territories. These are all places that people don't normally talk about. And then
it's just coming back to attention, man.
100%.
It's literally, this is what people's attention currently at. And
so we just got to figure out where their
Justin's
attention
just figured out how to actually understand where people's money,
I love that shit.
money's
I
actually
love
at.
data.
And then just
I love that shit.
putting ads towards
And
it.
it is all data. It's just the crazy thing is a lot of people don't know that this data is out there and it's free.
Yeah.
You want to know another example of this? Have you seen Fashion Nova?
Yeah.
And all the money that they're putting towards influencers?
Yeah.
Because it'll say hashtag Fashion Nova under pictures, and they just have a shirt that's been tagged with hashtag Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
Why couldn't a company recreate those clothes at a much cheaper price and then redistribute or put money towards ads?
100%.
Well, Fashion Nova.
That's the main reason the supplement industry is going to change. I know it's going to change in the next couple of years.
Uh-huh.
Because think about it. I am a hub between a person and a product. So I buy from the company. So a company is a B2B business. They sell to me and I sell to the consumer. Yeah. How much more money would these companies be able to put into marketing if I was never involved?
Yeah, 100%.
The margin that I get would strictly be going towards marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like when you look at what I'm trying to accomplish now through like other businesses, it's preventing from that habit. Like I know if in the next 5 to 10 years for sure, there's going to be 1 or 2 supplement stores in Abbotsford. Right now we have like 8.
They're going to be gone.
Yeah. Because every company in our store right now sells direct to consumer online. I can pick up I can go any one of my I can go to the product and I can buy the product from this company that I sell in my store right now online. And if they sell that, the price difference is the exact same price of what I sell it for.
Yeah.
But if they have to sell it to me, their margins are increased. So this is essentially where everyone's going to go. So your 2 routes to do is create your own brand, go direct to consumer, and you've seen companies like Shreds do it and kill it because think how much more money they have to put into marketing.
Don't you think that you're not giving enough weight to convenience though? I think the ability to go on and still talk to you, it's so powerful.
It's powerful.
Okay, but you can't get it
because
anywhere.
you've experienced it from us.
Yeah.
But if you just said it, you can't get it everywhere.
You can't.
So this is good for me.
It's excellent.
It's good for me because I know the stores that you walk into who hire 16-year-old kids to sell you supplements won't last.
No.
It can't last.
No.
So like it's
customer experience.
It's good for me, but I still know you'll always have those hubs that. And the one thing about this, I can't go to this website and buy this product and then buy another brand's product at the same time and have them arrive to my house at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So think of us as kind of like the sports check. I don't want to say that because I don't know how long sports checks
Yeah.
but think of it as a hub to be able to.
They're not around anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
I understand. I don't understand exactly. You're literally just saying that
you're just not satisfied. That's pretty much it. Like you're not satisfied from what you're getting from the storefront. You want to get more and more. Is that what it is? Like you want
there's two different routes. So the one for me is like I'm going direct to consumer. So I'm a B2C business. The customer comes in and sees me. Yeah. But I also have a business that goes direct. So I'm B2B in the same sense. So what I do on like Etc. Trainers Club, what I do is I actually share profits with trainers. Okay. So say for example, I'm a personal trainer. I build a cart. Let's add it to one of my clients' carts here. I actually break it down and I tell trainers what I pay for the product, what we sell it for, and I actually share the profits with all the trainers. And all the trainer has to do is go here and pick their client, and then they can set it to their client's cart. The client picks the flavors, and they get this amount of money into their bank account after 10 days, after Stripe processes it. So this is essentially something we're turning into an app, but this is business to business. Yeah. Now what I'm trying to do is take 100 trainers, 500 trainers, turn them as part of my team, and then essentially build that business as well too. So I know through this, I'm providing all brands of supplements. I'm not just providing one brand and creating this affiliate marketing strategy.
That's pretty cool.
So much work, bro.
So now what I want to
Love
do,
it, though.
I want to be able to do B2C because of the fact that I can create that experience, but I also want that B2B, and I want to build the strongest sales team across Canada.
That's crazy.
So like it's pretty amazing that a trainer can go in and say, like, for example, we're buying this product at $8.50 and we're selling it for $25, and we're sharing that profit with trainers, and I'm completely transparent about it. So anytime a trainer wants to come on board, I'm not trying to create this fake affiliate profile while I give you 10% discount when you make a referral to my website. I see where the most valuable people are in our industry, and I've built a platform for them.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different platform. It's not even the same name. It's nothing's the same about it. And then for that consumer that just wants to buy that product, whatever, get that experience and understanding of that product, that's a completely different business.
This is nuts. You see this
That's
shit?
pretty cool.
Literally, you could have employees, right, that are selling wine. You show them the margin that we're getting, and split it between them, or create a percentage.
Yeah. that's
So
pretty much-
you're just creating commission-based sales employees.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, everyone always says to me, like, well, not all trainers are motivated. Good. I want you to come on board. I want you to not do anything so I can get rid of you as quick as possible.
Exactly. Don't
So-
waste my time.
So at the end of the day, you can register to this website. If you never make a sale, you're registered.
100%.
I don't have to do anything with you. And I still offer all the information. Like same thing, ebooks, videos. I do all that for them as well too. But the biggest thing is you are only as strong as your team.
Yeah.
If I just had Abbotsford and I just had Activate, I am as strong as 4 people.
Yeah.
Like that's all the people,
Yeah,
me and the
yeah.
3 people that work for me. So how do I broaden that demographic? And to me, it's not even affiliate marketing anymore. I think affiliate market. How many times you used to go on Instagram and see Justin 20 to say 20%?
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
really exist. Nobody's doing that for free anymore.
No.
People are realizing their recommendations are valuable. So the idea of this is to really build the
Yeah.
strongest team
Yeah.
and share profits with them.
So then, would you be like? Are you interested in creating ads of videos of like saying, "Hey, listen, this is exactly how you can make money in the supplement industry."
Do you want?
If you're a powered person, if you have a passion for supplements, if you have a passion for getting in the gym, and then you do want to pursue a career in fitness, look at this. You can sell supplements just like I do to your local friends and family, all online, ships from this. This is how much money you can make by just purchasing my supplements through here.
So not only did I do that,
Yeah.
like you said, walking in to I made it look like Walmart.
Did you?
I wanted something that is generic as possible that I could put this in someone's email
Yeah.
and explain to them through like where the complications is becoming a personal
That's
trainer
crazy.
is, identifying those problems and creating an explainer video that I could essentially get them to sign up. And the craziest thing about this is I've never marketed it.
You haven't?
I don't want to market it.
Why not?
Because essentially because it is relatively new, I want to go from 10 trainers to 20 trainers and 20 trainers to 40 trainers to get out all the kinks. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, 2 reasons why I don't want to overly market it. One is I don't want someone to copy me.
Okay.
So if I could build my sales team to 100 trainers, at least I get to be the first to market
Sure.
and first to mind.
Sure.
But if I go on online and I'm promoting this as much as possible, it's pretty self-explanatory that if I came to you and you're a trainer and I said, hey, I want to share my profits with you,
Yeah.
you're going to say yes.
Yeah.
Moving forward, all you got to do is register your client under your account. Every purchase that's ever made under the account, that money goes into your account, goes into your bank account,
Yeah.
and then replicate it from there. But if I go online and I'm posting this everywhere, be like sign up, trainers, it's not my biggest competition will replicate this.
Yes and no.
Why do you say yes and no?
Because, man, I don't care how much I could tell people exactly how I've taken my 10 rows of strawberries to 10 acres
Yeah.
and done the entire process, and I can go tell my competition right now. I don't think that they'll do it.
Because it's more work.
It's a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
You have had, listen, if you understand yourself, Justin, you've been literally from when you were 16 and in that store to now, and your entrepreneurial spirit to actually understand this and your know-how of videos and everything to actually get to this. You think it's really easy, and you look back, just like you were saying, the Facebook ads, you
People
think it's
don't
very
want that
simple.
work.
People don't want to do this work. People are lazy as shit.
Yeah.
It's just like when you watch a video, a motivational video, and you're laying in bed, and you get so amped up, you're gonna sit in bed for another 2 hours watching some more videos. 'Cause people don't get up.
Sure.
1.5% will actually go get up and do something about it.
Sure.
I just don't think they will. I think that you doing this and putting it in front of people's faces will give you feedback. If people do copy you, that's at least some feedback. At least you've tasted it. I feel like right now you're pondering the idea, and if you don't try it, you don't know what this is actually going to give you.
No, I'm fully invested in that.
Yeah.
The-
No, I know, but
in the sense
putting
of
it
the
out.
marketing.
Putting it out. Yeah.
And the other reason too, like right now we're at like a small amount of trainers.
Yeah.
And like small, but I mean under 100. It's almost that you want to, like, for now I want to be able to. It's not that, like, the marketing out there has to be more than just I want all the kinks out. So
I agree.
So-
But I do agree with you that the barriers to entry are very low.
yeah.
It's very easy for someone to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put something in there where you provide so much more value that no one else
That's
can, just
exactly
like
it.
what you are providing.
So that's
and
exactly
no one else
it.
can, right?
I like that. So
Yeah.
eventually, let's say this is the next means of people promoting supplements.
Yeah.
The idea is, what further are you offering?
100%.
So, like, for now, my mentality is just first to market, first to mind.
Exactly.
But we have to constantly be creating that content.
Yeah.
And there is, like, some things, like building a website like this with, like, a multi-interface platform.
Yeah.
Like, when the client comes on, they don't see all the prices of everything they pay.
Uh-huh.
When the trainer goes on, they do. So, when we look at, like, shipping and all that, it all has to be, like, recalculated after the purchase. It's kind of integrated, but it's not specific. So I think the idea is just we want to find out a way to make it, like, do it for a month, figure out what complications we had that month, fix it the next month. Do it for a month,
Yeah.
figure out what complications. So, like, right now I want to kind of sit at, like, say we'll sit at 25 trainers for the next 2 months. If nothing goes wrong, it's like, okay, let's work for 50. See what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have an idea. Okay.
Okay.
What if you were to take this, open up to the public, let people sign on just like Amazon does for like $150 a year,
Yeah.
or like $100 a year, and you show them the savings they're gonna get by doing this, and the money that goes back in their account by purchasing their own supplements.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Skipping the trainer themselves, but going directly to the consumer and allowing them to do it.
So we can't do that because companies follow, like, a minimum advertised pricing.
Yeah.
So if any company was to register and whatever pay and say, hey, you're selling our products at this,
Yeah.
they could pull us as their.
Oh.
So
I understand.
technically speaking, when we work with trainers, we're contracting them out to be part of our team.
I
So if
gotcha.
you're a trainer working with the company, you're part of the team, right?
Yeah.
So you're essentially a salesperson.
Yeah.
So it's like Justin from Edge paying my staff in commission rather than paying them.
Interesting though, right?
Yeah.
Providing
It is
subscription
interesting.
basis, like where you're getting like 100 people are paying you
Essentially,
$100 a year.
Costco. You look at where Costco makes their money if it's all like memberships and credit card transactions.
Yeah.
So create that as memberships, get people on board. But yeah, it is smart.
Some good value they're providing, no, Jason? A lot of content.
You should put it on
A lot of
laptop.
content.
You should make a video of the specific things you talked about.
Yeah.
Put that out as like IG clips.
Well, yeah, I think
and then
this is what Jason's job is
put it
essentially.
on. Well, we need that. We need the video of the actual laptop which you're clicking on.
Oh, the campaign and going through it?
Yes, that's what you need. You don't like you can talk about it, but you actually need like the
Step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah, I see what you're
If
saying.
you put that on Aftermath, they'll like go
They'll
crazy.
blow their mind, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Nice
Okay.
We'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah.
Should we finish up here?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah? Do you wanna give a little outro? Like we usually do?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, that's episode 21. I think we talked a lot about Facebook, getting your brand in front of consumers. I think the key foundational thing that Justin, myself, and my brother agree on is the strategies behind the distribution that you're doing, and distribution tying it back into attention, regardless if it's at a wine store, if you're talking about a simple thing such as collagen on 10 different types of ads, and then putting them in different perspectives for the same client so they have good frequency going through, and you can actually get some solid conversion. I think it's very cool that we talked about all those separate things and actually provided a lot of tangible feedback, and I think a lot of people are going to get some good value out of this.
100%.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Awesome. Thank
Appreciate
you so
it,
much.
man. Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Wicked.
Episode 21.
Episode 21, buddy.